morning, everyone, and welcome to Check It Out, the library talk show that lets you know what's happening in and around the Bethel Park Public Library. We're your hosts, Elaine Volpe
and Christine McIntosh, and we have some fun and interesting things going on for adults in the month of February. This is my last-ditch effort for Appy Hour on Saturday, February 8th at 1 p.m. So join us for Appy Hour to learn about a variety of different useful and entertaining apps. During each session, we'll explore a few apps, provide downloading guidance, and then we'll show you how to use it. We'll do some demos. So at the end of each session, there will be time for any questions that you may have. Then it'll help you unlock your full potential as a confident digital explorer. I love this idea. I think this is our last try at this. It's just not just
taking
not
off like we
popular.
thought it would.
Yeah, I was really hopeful for it. We have a class on joint pain, osteoarthritis, and total joint replacement on Wednesday, February 12th at 6:30. This is presented by Lifeline Therapy. In this program, you will identify the roles of osteoarthritis and joint pain, which you and I both know from our sprained ankles that
Yes.
it never goes away. Identify strategies to reduce joint pain. Some basic exercises to protect your hips and your knees. Discuss what to expect when you're preparing for a complete joint replacement. I don't want to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Joint replacement. I hope not, ever. We have evening conversation salon, so you'll know we've done morning conversation salon for a number of years on every other Friday. I think it's first and third Friday at 10 a.m. Well, now Carla has been doing an evening conversation salon for a younger set. People that work during the day can come. Our next one is Tuesday, February 18th at 6 p.m. So it's just the simple joy of conversation. So Carla usually picks a topic. We try to steer clear of politics, but that is encompassing so much of our lives right now.
True.
So they choose a topic as a starting point and then just let the conversation flow. We have How to Tell Your Story on Thursday, February 20th at 6:30 in the evening. In this workshop, you'll get tips for composing powerful personal narratives, pitching a story for media attention, and working with editors and peers to incorporate feedback. This is presented by Public Source, which is Pittsburgh's home for impactful, impartial journalism and community-driven storytelling. I like Public Source. I get their newsletter every morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like them. And then Keeping Your Grocery Orchid Alive and Thriving on Wednesday, February 26th at 6:30 in the evening. So have you ever purchased an orchid from the grocery store to enjoy? Because they're beautiful. I have. I bought them for my mother. And then the flower lasts for a while, and then you watch in despair as the plant slowly fades away until you just end up pitching it in the bin. This presentation will help you have the best chance possible to change this scenario so you can keep them thriving and get them to bloom again. And this is presented by Gary Van Geld, president of the Orchid Society of Western PA. And there is an orchid show coming up in Pittsburgh in March.
Ooh.
Also, February is adult winter reading, which you guys have finished up.
Ours just wrapped up.
Youth winter reading with a wonderful carnival. So now, as adults, come on in. You can read or listen to an audiobook, and for each book read or listened to, you can be entered into first a weekly drawing for a $25 gift card, and then our grand prize this year is night vision binoculars. So
Yay.
very, very interesting. I wish I had them. I have an owl. I have a great horned owl that I hear at night.
You were talking about this on the last show.
I know, because I'm fascinated by it. So I would love to have those binoculars, but I'm not eligible as an employee. But if you're looking for something good to read, I curated a few good titles to celebrate Black History Month. So take a look at these. All right, I guess that's it. Okay. February is Black History Month, where we recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions of African Americans throughout history. This month serves as a time to learn and understand the experiences of Black people in American society. Here are but a few titles to help you achieve that goal. Barracoon, The Story of the Last Black Cargo, written by Zora Neale Hurston. In 1927, Zora Neale Hurston went to Plateau, Alabama, just outside Mobile, to interview 86-year-old Cudjo Lewis. Of the millions of men, women, and children transported from Africa to America as slaves, Cudjo was the only person alive to tell the story of this integral part of our nation's history. Hurston was there to record Cudjo's first-hand account of the raid that led to his capture and bondage 50 years after the Atlantic slave trade was outlawed in the United States. In 1931, Hurston returned to Plateau, the African-centric community 3 miles from Mobile, founded by Cudjo and other former slaves from his ship. Spending more than 3 months there, she talked in depth with Cudjo about the details of his life. During those weeks, the young writer and the elderly, formerly enslaved man ate peaches and watermelon that grew in the backyard and talked about Cudjo's past, memories from his childhood in Africa, the horrors of being captured and held in a barracoon for selection by American slavers, the harrowing experience of the Middle Passage, packed with more than 100 other souls aboard the Clotilda, and the years he spent in slavery until the end of the Civil War. Based on those interviews, featuring Cudjo's unique vernacular and written from Hurston's perspective with the compassion and singular style that have made her one of the preeminent American authors of the 20th century, Barracoon masterfully illustrates the tragedy of slavery and one life forever defined by it. Offering insight into the legacy that continues to haunt us all, this powerful work is an invaluable contribution to our shared history and culture. Black Klansman, a memoir, written by Ron Stallworth. When Detective Ron Stallworth, the first black detective in the history of Colorado Springs Police Department, comes across a classified ad in the local paper asking for all those interested in joining the Ku Klux Klan to contact a P.O. box, Detective Stallworth does his job and responds with interest, using his real name while posing as a white man. He figures he'll receive a few brochures in the mail, maybe even a magazine, and learn more about a growing terrorist threat in his community. A few weeks later, the office phone rings, and the caller asked Ron a question he thought he'd never have to answer. "Would you like to join our cause?" This is in 1978, and the KKK is on the rise in the United States. Its grand wizard, David Duke, has made a name for himself, appearing on talk shows and major magazine interviews, preaching a kinder Klan that wants nothing more than to preserve a heritage and to restore a nation to its former glory. Ron answers the caller's question that night with a yes, launching what is surely one of the most audacious and incredible undercover investigations in history. Ron recruits his partner Chuck to play the white Ron Stallworth, while Stallworth himself conducts all subsequent phone conversations. During the months-long investigation, Stallworth sabotages cross burnings, exposes white supremacists in the military, and even befriends David Duke himself. Black Klansman is an amazing true story that reads like a crime thriller and a searing portrait of a divided America and the extraordinary heroes who dare to fight back. It is also a really great motion picture. Black and Blues, How a Color Tells the Story of My People, written by Imani Perry. Throughout history, the concept of blackness has been remarkably intertwined with another color, blue. In daily life, it is evoked in countless ways. Blue skies and blue water offer hope for that which lies beyond the current conditions. But blue is also the color of deep melancholy and heartache, echoing Louis Armstrong's question, "What did I do to be so black and blue?" In this book, celebrated author Imani Perry uses the world's favorite color as a springboard for a riveting emotional, cultural, and spiritual journey, an examination of race and blackness that transcends politics or ideology. Perry traces both blue and blackness from their earliest roots to their many embodiments of contemporary culture, drawing deeply from her own life as well as art and history. The dyed indigo cloths of West Africa that were traded for human life in the 16th century, the mixture of awe and aversion in the old-fashioned characterization of dark-skinned people as blue blacks. The fundamentally American art forms of blues music, sitting at the crossroads of pain and pleasure. The blue flowers Perry plants to honor a loved one gone too soon. Poignant, spellbinding, and utterly original, Black and Blues is a brilliant new work that could only have come from the mind of one of our greatest writers and thinkers. This book was just released at the end of January of 2025. So come on in and check out one of these today. So those were just a few of some really great titles written by Black authors that we all could learn something from. So
Absolutely. There's so many good ones out there.
Indeed. So that's what's going on for adults.
All right, so as you mentioned, our winter reading just wrapped up, and we had so much fun celebrating with our families at a carnival-themed event last Friday. So we want to thank all the families who participated and who came out for that. It was, I don't know that I could pick like the station that was most popular, but if I had to, I would probably say that prize wheel.
Really?
So we're so excited that we got this prize wheel. We'll probably be using it, we'll definitely be using it at future events as well. But it was a lot of fun, and congratulations to all of our winners. Those were pulled, and they, I think they all have picked up their prizes by now. So a lot of excited kiddos.
I was very excited for Spin Art.
Oh, Spin Art was a blast too. Yeah. Came out so cool. I love that. I hadn't done it since,
Kennywood.
I was 8 years old.
Yeah. Kennywood.
But that was a lot of fun. So thanks again to everybody. Here we are in February, Library Lovers Month.
Yes, it is.
Hence the reason I have this bright pink sweater on.
That.
My goal is to wear a shade of pink or red every day this month.
Wonderful.
We'll see how far I get. So we have some programs happening in February, but as we've stated before, February is one of our off months, so we don't do as much because we are busy planning for the spring. So come March, all of our story times will resume. So we have Toddler Tuesdays on Tuesdays at 10 and 11, Mother Goose on the Loose on Wednesdays at 10 and 11, and then Preschool Power on Fridays at 10 and 11. Baby Jam will happen come May, so we'll mention that later on. No need to register for any of our story times. Toddler Tuesdays is perfect for your 2 and 3-year-olds. Mother Goose on the Loose is really appropriate for babies and toddlers, so 0 to 3 is the age range we give for that. And then Preschool Power is for your 3.5 to 5-year-old. In addition to those story times, starting in March on Thursdays and going every other Thursday throughout the spring, we're going to offer Thursday afternoon play dates. So a lot of times people can't make it, maybe you have preschool or daycare in the morning, or you're napping, or the schedule just doesn't work out, where we've had some requests for some afternoon programming for our younger kiddos. So we're going to do Thursday afternoon play dates, and we'll do, fun stories, silly songs, and just a time to get together and play, because we'll put some of our toys out in the program room afterwards for you just to kind of have free play, mingle with other families, and have a good time. So that's going to be, again, Thursdays every other, starting on March 6th, and that'll be at 2 p.m.
Wonderful. Well, that's a good idea.
We have Gross Motor Art coming up on Monday, March 17th, and this is going to combine art with physical movement. So it's going to help children to develop those gross motor skills that are so important while having lots of fun. So Ms. Dawn is planning this one, and she's very excited about it. I'm sure we will get a good response. And then, that's just for March. On down, we'll mention on next month's show, we do have some really cool programming during April and the month of May as well. For kindergarten through 6th graders, our Lego Club was so popular that we decided to bring that back. In fact, we still have some Lego creations on display.
They're very cool.
They're really cool. I feel guilty breaking them down.
Right.
I mean, I should eventually.
Take a picture and then, yeah.
Right. But we're going to start that back up in March. It'll be Sundays again at 2 p.m. Same type of thing as the afternoon play date. You just come and you free build, you free play. There is really no structure to it, but I love it because everybody just gets so creative. Mm-hmm. They're using their imagination. Most often when I do peek in there, because this is run by our teen volunteers, they'll supervise the whole hour for me. But every once in a while I like to poke my head in. And it's great because I just see this collaboration, right? People will buddy up, or even like 3 or 4 people will work together to make this really cool Lego creation. So no structure, just a free build time from 2 to 3 p.m. Sunday afternoons in March. We do ask that you register just so we make sure we have enough space. We'll probably cap it off at 20, 25 kids. Can You Survive the Library? So the Can You Survive series is quite popular. Those books circulate a lot. So Miss Nicole decided to do a book club around them. So each week you'll read a different Can You Survive book, and then there'll be related activities that go along with that. We are advertising this for grades 3 through 6th, and it will be Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. So Wednesday, March 5th through 26th at 6:30. Chess has also been very popular.
Yes.
So we asked Mr. DePampero from the high school to come on back, and he happily agreed to do so. And sometimes he brings some of his students. So we'll have teen volunteers that help us out with that class as well. But Chess Club, you can be a beginner. I mean, some knowledge of the game is helpful, although he's a wonderful teacher and he is so patient, so he will teach you. But if you have a basic knowledge of the game, that's helpful. And then even if you're like really experienced, we invite you to come and just play against other like-minded individuals, people who love to play chess. I don't know, like I know how to play chess. I can't say that I enjoy
I used
playing
to like
it.
Yeah.
Probably because I get beat every time, like by my nephew or whoever I'm playing. But it's a really, I think there's a lot you can learn from chess.
And it can be on many levels. Like I was a beginner. My brother and I would play.
Sure.
But you can really advance in your skill level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that will be Thursdays, March 6th through 27th at 6 p.m. We have an International Women's Day story time. So let's celebrate International Women's Day by reading stories about some really inspiring, influential and historical women from all over the world. We're going to read some stories, learn some facts, and then you'll do a fun craft as well. So that's Saturday, March 8th at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's probably most appropriate for like kindergarten to 3rd grade, K through 3. We're starting a Lunch and Learn series on Saturday. So the first one will be Saturday, March 8th. We ask you to bring a bagged lunch and then come to the library to learn about a particular topic. So we have 3 different guest speakers lined up. I'm going to leave those to be a surprise, but there'll be somebody different each month. And after they present and teach us all about their field and their area of expertise, then there will be time to ask them questions as well. So Lunch and Learn, Saturday, March 8th at 12 p.m. And then for our teens, Teen Tuesdays is still happening. We have This and That Thursdays, where every Thursday you can just drop by after school, hang out in our teen lounge, and there will always be something there for you to do, whether it's a little craft or a game of some sort. Miss Megan always puts out something fun to entertain you on those Thursday afternoons.
And
so
good
just
snacks.
And then, as you know, with the teens, Dungeons and Dragons was so popular when we first started that, and it's kind of dwindled down over the years because we started that about 3 years ago, and our group isn't as big as it once was. So we're going to try something new, but it's very similar. It's another role-playing game called Marvel Superheroes. So you can play as your favorite comic book superhero or a villain, or you can choose to roll up your own and kind of create your own superhero when you get there. So
I would want to play a villain just because.
Would you?
Yeah, because it would be different than
True. Do you
everyday
have a favorite
life.
villain?
No.
No?
I don't know the Marvel universe.
I really don't either. So that's going to be Thursdays, March 20th, April 17th, and May 15th at 5 p.m. So this is just once a month. First one will be March 20th, and we meet at 5 o'clock. We meet over in the teen lounge, and then we usually find a larger room to play in. Sometimes it's a study room, sometimes it's our program room. It kind of just depends. And then we are still going to do our crochet club. We don't have our teen volunteer who can lead that. She was so wonderful and so patient, and she would teach newbies. But her schedule, just with volleyball and everything else, is getting too difficult to commit to Crochet Club, but we still want to have it. So if you already know how to crochet, it's just an opportunity to come and hang out and crochet with others and kind of, chit chat while you're there. And again, we provide snacks. They meet over in the teen lounge, And so it's every other Saturday. The first two in March will be the 1st and the 15th. So bring your own yarn and your crochet hook if you have them. We do have extra yarn though, and I even have extra hooks in my office if you do need them. Okay. So yeah, and we had 17 show up for Crochet Club last Saturday.
That's
It's
amazing.
like cool.
That's
A lot of
really
teens know how to
great.
crochet, and one of you have to teach me soon because, as we've said too, like I've been meaning, it's on my bucket list. I want to learn how to crochet or knit or both. I just haven't yet. So
I wanted to take a minute just to talk about our latest fundraiser that we had at the beginning of on February 1st, which was our Bourbon, Beans, and Vino fundraiser. It's a Bethel Park Fantastic Four fundraiser where four of the prominent organizations in the community come together just so we can do bigger fundraisers. We had 15 chili cook-offs from the community.
did you taste everyone? Were
I
you
did
one of the
not.
judges?
I didn't have every attendee
Got to.
they got a
see-
ballot. And
okay.
they ranked their first, second, and third.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how that
And
worked.
then Mrs. Fierick from the high school tallied them up for us. And
Okay.
so it was a great event. We had some beverage vendors. We had Tall Pines Distillery, McLaughlin Distillery, Arsenal Cider House, and La Vignetta Winery. I think I'm forgetting one. I think we had 5. And then Bethel Bakery was there to provide. They had little cupcakes, and it was a really great evening. And we had teen volunteers from the Interact Club. They were very helpful. So our chili cook-off People's Choice Award winner was Dan Knorr from Become Better Sports and Personal Training.
Okay.
And second place, I'm drawing a blank, but the police department was third place. Second place, Clucking Good Chicken from Joe and Shannon Villani at the high school principal.
Sure.
So they won second place, and then
Oh,
the Bethel
wow.
Park Police Department won third place. So it was a
Well, congratulations to those winners.
indeed, it was a really, really, busy for us that were working, but it was a really fun night. We had, we sold 164 tickets, so we probably had, about that, because we did do some at the door too. It was a really
I
great
love
night.
chili. It's like one of those things that you can really just put anything in there, you know? It's like when,
There was a huge variety of chilies.
yeah, and I was reading online because I was craving chili the other day and I was going to cook up a pot. And I tend to make mine like the same way every time.
Me too.
So I was looking up different recipes. And a lot of people will put chocolate, like cocoa powder, in their chili. Have you heard of that?
No, but we did that Mexican chocolate thing, and like some spicy and chocolate goes
Go very
together.
well together.
No,
yeah.
Bill and I he found a recipe because we have so much deer meat in our freezer because his son hunts. So he found this recipe. It had cinnamon, was deer meat, but cinnamon, the juice of 1 lime and the juice of 1 orange. And boy, was it
Ooh,
good.
interesting.
It had a really interesting flavor, but I couldn't convince him to participate in the chili cook-off.
Aw,
which
you
was-
should have.
He wanted
Maybe
to,
next year.
He wanted to be there to enjoy himself. He didn't want to. What else do I want to say? New feature in our e-newsletter. If you can, there's clickable links through there. But if you click on the adult program flyer that comes up, now you can click through the flyer to the calendar.
Nice.
Which is saves you a step. And then also on February 4th, I became a great aunt for the 4th time.
Exciting.
My Eric and Andrea had a baby boy,
Aw.
Bryson Joseph McIntosh. He was 6 pounds 9 ounces and 19 inches long. He was a couple weeks
Wait,
old.
what's today? The 5th. So they just had the baby
He
yesterday.
just had the baby yesterday.
Have you gotten to meet him yet?
I'm going this afternoon to meet
Okay.
him. So we're very excited. So I'm a great aunt 4 times. This is the first boy. We have 3 girls, and this is our first boy. So he will be very spoiled.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to Eric and Andrea.
I wanted to mention one more thing too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can
No,
finish your
that's all right.
announcements. I almost forgot. On March 30th, we're having, cause talking about fundraiser, we're having our American Girl Tea Party.
Oh, that's right.
So we'll talk about it on next month's show, but tickets will go on sale February 15th. So be sure you purchase those if you are interested in attending. They are 2 for $30 and then $10 for each additional ticket. And so we're really excited because the 2025 doll of the year is Summer McKinney.
Okay.
So a little bit about Summer. She's like a little entrepreneur. She has her own little doggy business, I think, or cupcake business, but I think she also makes dog treats because she's really into her pups. You know, all the dolls have like certain interests every year
Right.
when they're released. So Summer is into dogs and cupcakes. Her favorite color is rainbow,
Okay.
and her favorite food is tacos.
Ooh, so are we
So,
having tacos?
We're doing a taco tea party this year. It kind of goes out of the,
I
you know,
like it.
but yeah, like why not, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a taco bar at the tea party this year. Lots of fun crafts. Our vendor will be there selling clothing
Those clothes
for.
are so beautiful.
Oh, they're adorable. We'll have basket raffles, the whole bit. So we're really excited. Again, that'll be on Sunday, March 30th at 2 p.m. at the Bethel Park Community Center. But tickets go on sale February 15th, and you can purchase those in person, please, at the children's desk.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And just one final announcement, just the library will be closed on Monday, February 17th in honor of President's Day. So we'll see you Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Sounds good. And as always, if you have any questions or comments on any of the things that we talked about on today's show, you know what to do. Go ahead and give us a call,
Visit our website.
or better yet, stop in and see us in person. Take care, everyone.